Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Pro here, and today I am bringing you guys a different version of my 100 stacker regen bust. My older one, like I used it, and I was having some problems with it, so I decided to go through and just completely redo the whole thing, changed up a few things, and I think personally it works better this way. So I'm gonna go through it, show you guys what I changed and all that stuff. That one right there is set up to regen bust. So we're gonna go with the it's exactly the same cannon. That one's just set up to regen bust right now, so I don't have to go change a bunch of things. Um, so this one right here will just it'll just stack the 100 sand, it'll slab bust, it'll hybrid, all that good stuff. So let's turn that on. And okay, so things that I changed. On my last one, I had these dispensers right here as my scatter, and I do not have that now. I moved it. I moved it down over into here. So this is a scatter now. If you want to, you could add another row onto it right here. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just didn't feel like it. I don't know. But you could add more scatter if you want to. Not really a big deal though. This compression, I changed the compression on the back of this because, as you could tell, I have a lot of power on here. This is more than normal, so I needed a better compression. So I added the schematic in the download will have this power on it. Depending on how far away from the base you are, you can have less power. You can add more power. I don't know how much more you'll be able to add, but you could add more power. But this compression right here works kind of the same way that this one up here does. So these back dispensers right here are on one tick less than these two dispensers right here. So this one will go off, and then those two will go off. This back one will push these two forward while pushing the power forward, and the second ones will push it even more forward, so that way it makes it all the way up to where it's supposed to. The compression I had before would only push it so far with this much power. If you had less power than this, then it'd be okay, or shorter power, then it'd be okay. But as it's so long, just the one compression wouldn't push it all the way. So I changed up the compression. That one works really well. I put this glowstone here. So I don't know. I just felt like putting the glowstone there. And the power for the scatter comes off of, oh my goodness. We are on Cosmic, so expect some lag and weird things. So for the scatter, the power comes off of here, off of the hammer down TNT, or the power, and then it'll power the sticky piston, which moves the redstone block down, which powers the comparator, which powers the rest of it, and all that good stuff. We could probably just take that off. So I think that's pretty much. Oh, there is one more thing. This hammer down right here, this piston used to be right here. So it used to be 2 blocks in between here, but I scooted it back because I didn't think that the hammer down was getting enough of the power. So I scooted it back by 1, and it's pretty close now. So it should be just fine. And that's pretty much all I changed, I think. Oh, with that, I changed up the wiring right here a little bit, so that still runs over the top in there for your slab bust. And this, you only have 2 pistons now for your one-shot sand instead of 3, which is awesome. So if the server is not lagging like crazy, or if somebody's not on here trying to lag it, people have been on here trying to lag the server. If you guys come on here and try and like intentionally lag the server or try and make it crash, it is a ban. So I wouldn't do it, because it just ruins the rest of Cosmic for you if you guys do play on the planets So don't come on here trying to lag the server or crash the server, because you will get banned. You definitely will get banned. So just a little forewarning for you guys. So we have everything hooked up. I got my sand there. Everything should work perfectly, depending on the server, of course, because it is Cosmic Cannon Planet, and you never know what is gonna happen. So let's just hope it works here. And there we go. It did work first shot. Perfect. Went through the slabs down there. Blew a hole in the in this here, and if we fly straight, we'll go in here, which is what we want. So let's set our sand here. / set sand. There we go. I was hoping that I still had it set there. I thought that I might have done something else and it wasn't set there still, so I could have set something else to sand. But every one of these shots will work just fine. After you go so far, I think it's like around 15-ish chunks with this cannon. Once you hit about that point, the hammer down will start to shoot the scatter up into the air, and it won't hybrid. If you do run into that, and you probably will if you're shooting 20 chunks or up to 20 chunks, if you do run into that, all you have to do, and pay attention, all you have to do is add a tick to this repeater right here. So if you're shooting and you shoot and it doesn't hybrid and you notice some TNT goes up in the air, add 1 tick to that repeater right there. That's all you need to do, and it'll work just fine. You can add a tick to the scatter here if you want to, but you can just add 1 tick right there and it'll work just fine. So let's a lot of people have been asking me, how do you fix clipping issues? The first thing that you need to do is not have too much delay on your hammer down. If you have too much delay on your hammer down, that is what causes the clipping issues. So this delay right here that it's on, these 3 ticks and then obviously the 1 repeater back there, this delay will work for a long, like you can shoot quite a long ways before you have to add a tick to that, depending on how much power you have, of course. If you have less power, you might have to add a tick or maybe 2 to it. But with this much power, you can shoot. I think I was shooting at 20 chunks. I think I needed to add 1 tick. Yeah, I needed to add 1 tick shooting 20 chunks. So you don't need to add too much to the hammer down. It's just fine, especially if you use that power. But anyways, back to clipping issues. So let's say, I think this right here, if this clips, yeah, so that right there will clip, okay? That's what causes your clipping issues, is having too much delay on the hammer down. So if you do run into a clipping issue and you don't know how to fix it, I'm going to tell you right now. First thing you want to do is turn off your slab bust, because it won't work if your slab bust is on. Second thing you want to do, come in, break these 2 blocks and place 2 slabs right there. Okay, that's what you need to do. And then thirdly, you just need to stack a little bit of sand, not a lot, depends on how much sand you have stacked. If it's like way far down there, just do like a normal shot and try and get your sand stack up there a little ways. But if it's like this, then all you do is need to stack a few sand. Make sure you put the slabs in there. Make sure your scatter's on, and make sure you have 1 shot sand, and then just go ahead and shoot again. And it should hybrid this like right under this block, and then it'll destroy that block that you're clipping on, just like that. So then you won't have that clipping issue anymore. So if you are clipping a lot, take a tick off your hammer down, because that's the main reason for clipping issues. So that is pretty much it for the normal cannon that just, going straight through walls and stuff. And then we're gonna move over here to the regen buster. I have a regen set up right here, and I'll show you guys. It's full regen, nothing special about it. And then I have another regen all the way down here. This one's at 20 chunks, so this regen is 20 chunks away, and this one's a regen as well, as you can see. So we'll do that one as well. I have to get an alt or somebody on to come shoot the cannon when I do that one. Because for some reason on here, if you're not standing right next to the cannon, it just doesn't like to work all the time. So when you are regen busting, the first thing you need to do is pre-stack. And the height that you need to pre-stack at is 2 blocks above your platform. So if I hit F3, we're at 103 right now. So we need to get to 105. The best way to figure it out is you need to get your sand up to this height of your barrel. So 2 blocks into your barrel, that's what it needs to be at. This sand right here is at 105. If you have it too high, it's not going to work. If you have it too low, it's not going to work. You need to have it at that height, or the second block of your cannon. That's what height you need to get it to. So in order to do that, I have it set up to regen bust, so let me take this out. In order to do that, what you need to do is come into your sand comp and lower your entire sand comp by 1 all the way across, and then all the way out here. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, my throat. Once you do that, make sure your slab bust is off. Make sure your one-shot sand is off. Make sure this sand is off. And make sure your scatter is off. All you want to do is stack just your normal sand. You don't want anything else on. If you turn your one-shot sand on, it's most likely going to stack that on top. And then you have to hybrid it and get the sand to drop and then restack it. And it's really annoying. So once you get that done, come back in here. Break all these blocks that you just placed. Hold on, let me get a lower speed. Speed 3. There we go. So break all these blocks that you just placed. And then also right here, break these 2 blocks and this block right here. So you want to be able to come right here to the sand comp and be 1 above it, okay? So a lot of the other regen busters use trap doors up here, but I use slabs. So put 2 slabs there and 1 slab here. On my other regen buster, I couldn't get it to bust high enough. So with this one, you don't need to raise the barrel or anything. All you need to do is just put that in there and you'll be just fine. Make sure your slab bust is on. So the ticks that you need when you are regen busting. So these ticks right here are the normal ticks that you would use. So 2 ticks on the 1 repeater and then none on the second one. But you need to add 1 tick, no matter how many ticks you have. You need to add 1 tick to your hammer down on both sides. And then this one, you need to have as 1 less tick than what your hammer down is at. So, or just this repeater. So if this repeater is full, then you need 3 ticks up here. And that's, I mean, that's just the way it works with this cannon. Other cannons, like other regen busters, they tell you to put these ticks as the exact same. But on this one, you want, or no, is that 4 ticks? Yeah, so you want the same ticks as this repeater, which is 4 ticks. So this one's got a repeater and a tick, which is 2, and then 3 and 4. Sorry, I misspoke there. So you want the same amount of ticks up here as you have on the first repeater. Don't include that repeater, just this one. And make sure you have it on both sides, which we have. Make sure you have sand in here for the regen bust, and then make sure you have sand for your one shot. Make sure you turn off your scatter. Do not need your scatter for this. And then stack your sand. So you'll also need a full stack of sand. Just because that sand stacked up all the way doesn't mean you don't need any sand. So let's stack that 19 up. There we go. And let me get the points on here. So once you have done all of that, you should be good to go. Let me just check everything. Make sure everything is good. Okay. So we should be fine. If the server's not lagging, it should work. Oh wow, it's actually over 20 TPS. Holy freaking cow. That is amazing. That is honestly amazing. Okay, so this right here should regen bust. And there we go. And if we fly over here, we put our head on here, we fly over here, as you can see, it's the same height as the barrel, which is amazing. So once you do that, all you need to do is hybrid the stack, get it out of there, and then break this, and then you're on your way. So let me move over to the further one. Let me just get this blocked up here so I know it'll actually shoot through everything. So I don't want it to get in the way. So let's break this down a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to set sand. Let me just go down here and set a home. I'm going to try and do it without using an alt or anything. So slash set home. There we go. So once it shoots, I'll just do my home and hopefully it will still work. And you just use the same ticks as you used before. So here we go. Go back here. And there we go. So you use the same ticks. This is 20 chunks away. You use the same ticks as you would closer. And this also will bust the same height as the other one. So if we fly straight right here, we'll fly right into the barrel. Boom, just like that. And then usually after you shoot that far, the next shot will most likely be the base wall. So that is how the regen bust works. That's my new regen bust. I will leave a link in the description for the schematic and the world download for this, so you guys can download it, check it out, do whatever you want with it, change it, I don't care. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Yeah.